Hello, may the 4th be with you. Today is May 4th. May the 4th be with you. And this is going to be Chump Change, me and Lorenzo's podcast. Say hi, Lorenzo.
Hello.
And this is going to be episode 17. We got a list of topics to talk about today. I goofed over the weekend, but also, which YouTube creators did we watch as kids?
And then we want to end off the podcast talking about what do we want to do as Big Chumps and where do we want to go with the company in the future. All those topics and maybe some more in this episode of Chump Change. All right, so I think that you want to talk about your goof.
Yeah, so I've been on a Facebook marketplace craze.
Mm-hmm.
I am cheap or frugal, depending on how you want to look at things. I don't care to buy things full price.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been really into cameras, and I bought a camera off a marketplace. Over the weekend, I bought some lenses.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say Saturday, right? I bought 2 lenses off of this guy. One really, really wide, and then one like really zoomed in.
Mm-hmm.
And then so on Sunday, I wanted to look on Facebook Marketplace again, right? And I was like, hey, I think they make a lens that's kind of in the middle. And I was like, hey, I think this is the one I want right here. I hit up the guy. I meet with him. I bring the lens home. And I was telling Water Bottle Man, I was like, hey, check out this lens change. Watch. And he's like, hey, man, that looks like the same exact thing. I was like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. So I take out the lens and I put the new one on. And then I realized, I was like, wait, these are both the same size. And I bought prime lenses, so it isn't like it's going to change.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I bought the same lens twice.
That's crazy.
So now I have 2 lenses. Yeah, so now I have 2 of the same lens. That's cool.
Hey, you know what you can do with that second lens? Do the same thing the guy you got it from did.
Yeah, just sell it right back, right?
Mm-hmm. Put it back out there.
Yeah, see, my problem was, I feel like I rushed the second purchase.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the lens the first time. I was like, hey, this is what I need. Mathematically, this is going to be a 50 millimeter on the APS-C small form factor, small crop sensor. So I was like, okay, I have a 50 millimeter lens. And I saw in Marketplace, I was like, oh, well, they got a 35 millimeter lens right here. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's in the middle between 50 and like 10.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. See, and in my notes here for this week, I got the ETTO principle, right? Efficiency, thoroughness, trade-off principle.
Man, that's not what I was going to guess that stood for at all.
Basically, I think I just didn't double check because I said, hey, you know what? I can get this done lickety split, banana split. And look at me now. Now I got 2 lenses looking like a goof.
That's interesting. It's crazy that you always find like titles or like there's actual names to some of these things that we do in like practice.
Yeah.
Because I would say absolutely efficiency, thoroughness, trade-off principle is something that's happened to me as of late with editing.
Yeah.
Because normally the Chump Change process is pretty straightforward, but we've had some rougher audio the last 2 podcasts. Just because like it was hot as hell one day and I had an AC running in my office, and then I think I was really quiet the one before that. Which is something that ended up bleeding into a different episode or a different recording, but because I was doing my same process so fast, because it was like, oh, I have a work process. It's gonna work. It fixes it every time.
Yeah.
There ended up being some glaring issues that you, Brother Man, and Water Bottle Man all call out on separate occasions, and it was a trade-off because I was so busy and that I thought my process was so simple at that point that I just like you, I didn't double check my work.
Hey, we got deadlines to meet, buddy. We gotta be more efficient.
So I always think it's really crazy when like you bring something up in Chump Change, and it's almost like watching what is it like? Did you ever watch a program as a kid and there's a moral to the episode of the show, like uh, uh I don't want to just say like kid show because it's always a kid show thing, but there's a problem that like a doctor in a doctor show, like a doctor drama show, the doctor has an issue, doctor doesn't realize they're being arrogant, deals with someone else being arrogant in the same way, and then doctor's like, oh. Sometimes that's how it feels being a big chump and then doing the podcast, because you'll bring something to the table with your Wikipedia article or your like medical journals, and it'll be like, oh, that kind of applies to what's happened to me this week, or like what's happened in general.
Yeah, it always surprises me how there's usually a fancy name for stuff. Like, oh man, what would be a good example? I don't know the exact name, but basically,
FOMO,
you could say,
FOBO, FOSO.
yeah. No, what I wanted to go for was like making a journal,
Yeah,
or like making an outline. What is that called? A planner.
yeah.
Making a planner, and then there would be like organizing your thoughts or something. I'm like, what? Yeah, I'm really happy that there's always something to get out of it.
Yeah. It's always relevant or applicable to ourselves as well as the content. Very, very fun. It makes Chump Change that much more fun. That's why I originally I was like, man, I don't want to be like an informative podcast. This isn't NPR. But like as we kept going, it just ended up being like fun, because it's like there's something to learn. There's something to take away from it every time. But yeah, man. You want to jump into the next one then?
Alrighty. Which YouTube creators did we watch as kids? I'll let you go first.
So there's a couple different ones, but there's one that resonates a little more than the rest. I was getting into machinima at the time. This is like roughly like 2010 to 2012.
All right, you gotta have some video like Red versus Blue. That era, a little earlier than that.
Yeah, I think everyone can recall like late 2000s, early 2010s machinima. Because yeah, like Red versus Blue was definitely there too. I think Rooster Teeth is on like their 15th or 16th anniversary right now. So that like checks out in terms of time. That's roughly their the RVB era. So I was getting big into machinima. I was also around 2012 is when I started doing YouTube, or I was trying to do YouTube.
Yeah.
With my what was it called? I just talked about it.
Oh wait, you can't sing your song. We need that for the cover album.
No, not that. But that era. But I was using was it Bandicam? I think it might have been Bandicam.
Yeah.
Brother Man would know. What? But so I was trying to like get into recording back then, and one of the people that I remember seeing was Sly Foxhound. He was a Minecraft he was a Minecraft YouTuber, and I saw him on a machinima video. I think it was like this dude and his wife. They were doing Minecraft videos for machinima, and then he was a guest on an episode. And then I ended up finding him on YouTube on my own later. And I kind of just watched him for the longest time. And that's how I got introduced to the creatures, because Sly Fox would eventually become a creature. That's how I was introduced to Nova, Immortal HD. I knew about Dan and Kutra, but I didn't really watch them. I think I watched Dan play like The Binding of Isaac in the Arkham series. But besides that, like, I think after the creatures, I'd go on to watch Cow Chop, and then they just interacted with more people, and I kind of just broadened the scope based on that.
Yeah, I realized that in terms of gaming content when we were younger, it's a whole different thing from what it is now. I feel like before it was, you have your Let's Play, and then they kind of get to know who you are.
Yeah.
And it's like not every minute has to be overstimulating,
Yeah.
but now it's like, hey, ha 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 ha. Hey, watch me pop off.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. All right.
Which is funny, right? Because something that like in a video that you and I were editing, or I finished editing my portion of it today. There's some parts where it felt a little slow, and I had to tell myself, well, the dialogue that's happening isn't inherently bad. It's like natural reaction conversation, but there wasn't anything happening.
Yeah.
So I was in this weird, because the video is only like 27 minutes compared to our like hour-long content normally.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I don't need to like drastically cut it here, but there was some slow parts, and I was like, I don't know if we're gonna like hold on to retention here. People might skip around, or people might just dip out of the video. It's definitely interesting how much the ecosystem has changed in terms of how like viewers interact with that content.
Yeah, it's crazy. So the content now, it's very hard for me to digest, especially for the gaming.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, okay, well, whenever we make content, I'm like, okay, I like it how it was back then. So I'm gonna try to,
Boomer.
cut my videos as best as I could, boomer.
Mm.
Okay,
Boomer.
And yeah, and then I'm like, hey, look, we're both here. You're very much like the Zoomer, keeping up with the
Me?
You're
saying me?
Yeah,
I like?
yeah.
No.
You really like the memes.
No.
You're very Subway Surfer type of guy.
Absolutely not. You misinterpret my actually following that stuff for liking it.
Mm.
And I said this last night because Paula was streaming last night. I said it on stream. Just because I want to make content a specific way isn't because I like it that way. It's because I know that there's a compromise that we have to make in terms of what we want versus what people are willing to watch.
Also, just want to interject here, going on a tangent. Lorenzo said, "Hey, say May the 4th be with you."
Mm-hmm.
I ain't watched none of that. I didn't read no book. I don't know nothing.
You didn't
about
have a
Star
childhood.
Wars.
It's fine.
I like, hey, bro. I'll say it though.
No, because you brought up, what did you bring up the other week? National Hamburger Day, but we were like a month late.
Yeah. Ranch prime rib. Yeah.
That too. Like, hey, if we're gonna call out national days, it's National Star Wars Day, and a lot of people like Star Wars. And guess what?
All right.
Now it's a tag I can put inside the metadata.
Hashtag Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. Go watch the Ahsoka show on Disney Plus.
Oh my goodness! Free advertisement.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, going back to the conversation here.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie with you, Chief. Zoomer content versus boomer content.
Mm-hmm.
I'm liking how podcasts have been becoming more of a thing.
Yeah.
Like people listening as well as people making.
Yeah.
So I do think it is helping bringing the attention span from Subway Surfers away.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I really like that.
I think the me working long hours when I worked with Safeway, like working in the bakery or working overnight in the deli, my need to be entertained constantly was like so bad. Like the ADHD in me was so bad that I would put on YouTube videos, but they weren't long enough to sustain me. So yeah. I had to find something long, and because long let's plays aren't a thing anymore unless it's like a big AAA game and Jacksepticeye or someone does like an hour-long episode. Podcasts were the next best thing. So I definitely think that working and driving are something that changed it for me. But the next generation is so much bigger than what ours was.
Yeah.
So it's bad, and that's why I said like you and I kind of had to compromise, and we have to be willing to. Not every video has to be rainbow MLG 360 no scope content, but we certainly need to find the little compromises to make content that would be engaging to the general public.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I very much didn't want to do it, but I think like some live stream clips from my personal Twitch channel, or like just me and Water Bottle Man playing Valorant or R6 might make its way into the main channel, just as a means to pad what we're doing.
Yeah, see, I was actually going to bring that up. I feel like it hasn't been uh YouTube just hasn't really been giving that long content
Yeah.
like a chance to shine, which is why I personally have tried to do the after hours that format.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, hey, if you're that old guy like me, there you go.
Yeah. Or
But yeah,
if
no,
for whatever reason, if you just need longer stuff to have on in the background, like I was editing, watching a Sea Dog VA VOD. I was editing that last video, watching someone's VOD.
yeah, so that's what I was gonna bring up. Was I feel like it's just shifted to, okay, you want longer formatted, less edited, go to Twitch.
Yeah.
And Lorenzo's been trying to get me on that bandwagon. He's like, hey man, you want to go stream on Twitch? I'm like, man, as a consumer, I get sad because I'm watching my favorite streamer, and then I get hit with the ad 3 minutes in.
Yeah.
And it isn't like like standard television where it's okay, cut the video here, play the ad, or resume the video after.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, I just lose that whole 30 seconds right there. Okay, that's cool. But
I will say it sucks just because like the way that Twitch is going, it's very much trying to strangle the audience into subscribing or using an Amazon Prime subscription so that you can have an ad-free experience. But also so many people use ad blocker. Like, I'm not saying that's okay. If you want to support your streamer, support your streamer. Even if they're small, I think it's good to support them. But most people do use ad blocker. And
what's crazy? So the ad blockers that I have, it doesn't block it though. It's like, hey, this is still okay. Like we're gonna let the advertisement play.
Yeah.
Because it's a good thing, and I'm like, yeah, that's fair. Instead of like, okay, I get no ads.
I think
the ads I don't like. The ads I don't like is the ones that's on the sides, like of the video. Like in the video is okay.
Yeah.
But like on the sides and like on the top and the bottom, like the web screen just
stuff.
looks. Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely. It's a hard argument to make because I also make money off of Twitch and Big Chumps does not as of right now. We did our one sponsorship that's it. And that wasn't even we made money off Twitch. We made money off of our sponsorship.
Yeah.
So it's hard to argue it, but I also just think it's more content. And if we want to edit it down, we absolutely can. We have that power. Because something that you like to do is you like to play Tekken and WoW and like all these different things where if I say, all right, Pree, go ahead and sit down for 4 hours and record WoW content. Kind of hard to justify putting aside that much time. But if we're just hanging out and I say, hey, Pree, you wanted to play Dragonflight with me. Okay, we can play Dragonflight. I want you to stream the whole time, though, and I'll stream my perspective. Okay, well, if Pree thinks that there's some moments that are really good there because you play WoW and you know what good WoW content looks like, you absolutely can download both those VODs and you can clip that.
Yeah. I feel like there is a world for that nowadays.
Yeah.
For me, it's just, okay, my boomer self, right? My favorite episodes or my favorite things to watch was like, okay, we sat down and we played Monopoly for 3 hours. Here's like 10 videos.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. Each week, I'm like, oh, I'm waiting for the next part of that series,
Which is something that we like. That's the kind of content we're still planning to do. I mean, there's a lot of stuff being worked on where it easily could turn into that.
Yeah.
It's just like I think Waterball Man said it the best yesterday. He was intending to record stuff for clips, and because that was the intention, whether or not there's interaction on Twitch or not, cool. If there's no interaction at all, he's there for the content of the game and to record it.
Yeah.
Which is very much why it's like, hey, Pree, if there's games that you think are a little rough to get in there and you want to play them, absolutely play them, because guess what? We're either going to get views on Twitch and eventually go into affiliate for the Big Chumps channel, or you're gonna have content that you can clip and put into a YouTube video if you want to. Either
Yeah.
way, there's something to be gained by it. Because you and I recently talked about how it's hard to justify doing something unless it's on camera right now.
Yeah.
So that's why I also like. I've been doing streams at the end of my work shifts or like in the middle of the night just because I want to play these games and I want to speed run. But it's hard for me to justify it unless I'm making money off of it or I'm like somehow generating content.
Yeah. Everything is content, right? That's the toxicity that we have right now.
I wouldn't say it's toxicity. It's just the trade up we made. Like we've made a business out of this now. We have to like we are going to be cash cows for our business until we drop.
Yep. Just wait till we get some ad revenue here.
Yeah, wait.
The ad revenue, I mean sponsorships.
Wait until HelloFresh comes back around for part 2 of the sponsorship. You guys are gonna ooh baby.
Yeah, HelloFresh.
HelloFresh.
Come
HelloFresh, if you're listening, we are interested in another partnership.
Please.
I had a lot of fun doing that partnership. I had a lot of fun. Give me another reason to stream, please. That's the other thing. Any advertiser can walk up to the table right now and say, "Hey, I want YouTube video ads and I want you to stream." Cool. That you don't know how easy that is for me.
Yeah, man. Just give them a reason, huh?
Mm-hmm. Because if you don't want to stream on Twitch or you're not able to come here to stream on the set, I could easily just do it on the channel myself. And then you could pop into Discord and just be like, "Oh man, that's a cool game you're playing over there." Yeah. So yeah, no, absolutely. That's I think that's something that I really like just because I still get to do the old way of doing it, but live. And if I want to make it VOD content, I can.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the days where it's, hey, I'm on Twitch and I gotta do the thing, do the Twitch thing. I gotta interact with the people.
No, so what's gonna happen is we're gonna follow the trend of every other group. We're gonna go all the way to the top. We're gonna fall off, and we have to be streamers after that.
See, I like that. I'm like, hey, we do it that way. I'm okay with that too.
Pree's like, I cashed in my Big Chumps check. We disbanded the business. I'm just streaming every day now. Thank you, little Timmy, for the Twitch Prime. Thanks for stealing your mom's Amazon Prime account. I'm just gonna play Tekken for a little bit, and then I'll see y'all tomorrow.
There you go. See, that sounds like a solid plan right there.
That's great. Oh, guys, 20th expansion of WoW came out. We're gonna play it for 20 minutes. I'll be back tomorrow.
If you know what you know, just wait for my hardcore playthrough. WoW Classic.
Man. But speaking of advertisers, I think that's a good segue into our final topic of the day. What do we want to do with Big Chumps and where do we want to go as a company?
All right, so I think we need to lay down some foundation here.
Okay.
All right. Company members.
In terms of like who we want or where we're at?
No. Where we're at right now, buddy.
Members of the company is the 2 founders, you and me.
All right. So we're laying down the foundation here.
Okay.
Company is me and Lorenzo. Where do we want to go with the company? I feel like if we can expand, right, and we monopolize, hopefully, manifest destiny,
Oh, God.
If we're able to take everything under the red sun.
Oh, dude. Oh, I would love that. Just become so big I buy everything.
Yeah, well, like Genghis Khan. I was making that reference, but once if we're able to expand out, right, it isn't like we get to just do it all, right? We're gonna stretch ourselves thin eventually.
Yeah. And
I feel like when we do hit that point, or we start making some money, and then we can have some creature comforts,
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, we hire up this guy, we hire up that guy. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do want to interact with other people though, even if they're not us.
So define that. Let's start there. Actually, that's a great place to start.
Yeah. So if there are other creators, who are like, hey, I want to play a game with you. I'm like, all right, start the Among Us lobby.
Ooh, going back to where everyone took advantage of the world being shut down.
Exactly. Like start up the Among Us lobby. I'm in.
Man, if only we decided to do Big Chumps back in 2019. Do you know how crazy that would have been?
Yeah, dude, we would be Among Us.
Yeah, we'd be Among Us. So many
Yeah.
people, so many people got their start, and they're like top of the game right now from COVID.
From Among Us.
Like I think Iron Mouse is currently the #1 female streamer in the world.
Oh, poor Valky Ray.
I think so.
Poor Pokimane.
Yeah, it's not them anymore.
Yeah.
How
Yeah. All
how
right.
how can these real women compare or compete with a 2D woman?
Tough. All right. So. All
So
right. So.
creature comforts, hire people. I absolutely agree. Something that I would absolutely love is I would love a writer to help us do more IRL content, just like to help us script stuff. Because there's a lot of stuff that you and I want to do, like in terms of filming outside, like touching grass content.
Yeah.
And
So I want to reiterate that. So when we say script,
mhm.
I don't mean like we're just reading off of a script.
Yeah, we're not
I
filming
feel
the next
like
Marvel movie.
yeah, I feel like it is the better way to put it would be we want to get some better structure,
They give
and
us a
just so
box to
we don't
play
have
in.
to yeah, we don't got to structure it ourselves. Yeah.
Hey,
And just
hey,
because it kind of takes out a lot of the wow factor from us too.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think there's something I think about constantly. I think we talked about it on the podcast. We did this thing where it was like a geo scavenger hunt on our phones. If we knew nothing about it, we were able to go through it absolutely blind, and we were able to have someone who was a little better at keeping us focused on the camera. Not to disparage our girlfriends at all, because I think in terms of audio and video they did fine, but absolutely someone who's better at being able to keep their eye on us so we keep our eye on the camera would have
Yeah,
helped
yeah,
that out a lot.
yeah,
And that's definitely something that you need to, like, you need time behind a camera to understand that difference.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. It was hard because I just want to put in here. It wasn't that we weren't giving out our first expressions, but it was we were giving out our first expressions, and we also had to think about the video, and we also had to we're in a public area,
yeah.
and
We
it's also something we've never done, so we have no idea
yeah.
how it's gonna go or anything like that. So we're kind of just guessing at the jump.
Like something that you and I kept talking about is we were guessing the framing based on where your girlfriend was at with the camera.
Yeah. So better structure is what I think the moral of this one is.
And then you sold the gimbal that we had.
And then I sold the gimbal. See, but we bought another gimbal
Much better. Much better gimbal.
For what is that, YCS?
We don't have a charger for it though.
Yeah, that man. Facebook Marketplace got me there. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm surprised that we didn't think about it, because the person who sold it to us, we talked about. We're going on a tangent, by the way. They showed us them putting in the batteries to it. They showed us the USB cable. At no point did you and I go, "Oh yeah, batteries. Oh yeah, USB-C cable." Wait, wait a minute.
No, I was like, all right, batteries, USB-C cable, charges batteries. I was like, okay, well in my head that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. That's not how
And
it
then
works.
I was like, oh, dude.
And we found that out the hard way, because we were ready to go day 2 of that convention. We were gonna do it. We didn't do it.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well the battery's at 25%.
Because I think that was one of the factors, besides us losing, that was one of the factors that we didn't go to day 2, right? We just didn't have it in us to.
Yeah, I was like, there's
The gimbal's
how?
The gimbal's about to die. GoPro is overheating constantly all of a sudden. Like, let's just go home.
Yeah. Cut our losses, go home.
Like, very much, I'm glad that we play with the equipment we have, but now we know that we need to upgrade the arsenal when we go away from home.
Yeah. It's okay. We're just going to have 2 camera gimbals, and we're just gonna selfie stick all of it.
2 camera gimbals. One of the gimbals goes with the cameraman, and we selfie stick the one of them.
Yeah, but that's when we get there.
Yeah.
Again.
Well, what's cool is Water Bottle Man actually said like he'd be willing to come with us to an event and cameraman for us.
Yeah, see, no, so I've been, since I've been looking up the camera stuff, going back on the tangent.
Oh God.
I've seen this like PVC pipe like square,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then like you're holding the square, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, so I can look at the screen of the camera like shooting behind me, and I can walk forward and not walk back into and trip and fall and die.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a cool piece of machinery that I might want. Sucks I'm not the cameraman.
Yeah. That's the other thing. You and I love the camera stuff so much. There's no situation unless we have another active like talent person where you or I get to constantly be the cameraman.
I'm like, man, dude, this shot would be really cool here.
Mm-hmm.
Lighting was actually really better this way.
Like when we're able to justify going back to an in-person set and we actually build the set that I like started designing for us, that'll be cool. Because part of that set can be we can choose cameras at place, like we can set up multiple spots for cameras to be, and we can have an Elgato stream deck to switch camera angles as we choose. But for now, it's like the only time you and I actually get to play with the camera angles and do what we want is in Chump Change, and we're not even showing our freaking cameras right now.
Crazy, dude, crazy. And I'm like, look, I bought a camera lens. I'm talking about a camera lens. They don't even get to see the camera lens. Oh my god!
Not yet. I'm working on it. I've been really busy. I'm trying to get back to designing a new digital set. Season 2 Chump Change set coming soon. Maybe episode 20 will be set season 2.
But yeah, so coming back from the tangent here, where would we like to go with the company? So because we're talking about the set, I think it's safe to come back to the store, and we wanted to make products, to have some merchandise here.
Yeah.
In terms of how far that's gone, we are still in sampling, and then we want that to go out after, we complete that. But also, I think it's cool to talk about an idea of the cups.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to have the cups, so whenever I drink something on the camera,
yeah,
I'm like, hey, BigChumpsStore.com,
Well, that was the whole idea, right? Because you and I originally didn't plan on putting cups into production, but after I got the samples for the cups, you're like, okay, that's actually really...
Yeah, dude, that's great. I really liked it. And then going back to the Christmas Chump Change, because that one actually had a camera back then.
And we had cups on set.
And yeah, exactly what I was going to say. We had cups. And it added to the frame. And I was like, hey, dude, fill in the frame. We're adding more depth to the scene. Man, we need more space. Where would we like to go with the company? We want to expand.
Yeah, something that would definitely help us out is if we can make money, or we can... It sucks, right? It's a double-edged sword, because you and I have had the conversation of investors or other people owning parts of the company, but it's hard to do that without giving people control, and we don't want to do that right now.
Yeah,
but we're in a situation where we do rapidly want to grow, and we want to be able to do the stuff we know will boost production value a lot, but we just can't right now. We just don't have it, because
big, broke, and beautiful.
Absolutely. The first couple episodes of Chump Change, I had to move my couch from the living room into the office, and my desk is just so too big for that, and we looked really cramped there. Yeah. And then also just the way that my office is orientated right now, it doesn't look good as a set. And I can hear you viewers saying, okay, well, why don't you just rearrange the office? Well, then my office becomes a one set thing, and there's no reason for it to exist besides Chump Change.
Right, and it's like, okay, so let's say, all right, you put the set back together when we need it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go, all right, well, to move the desk that doesn't collapse or isn't on wheels.
Yeah.
And you have to think about the PC parts that are attached to the set. I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah, which is really hard because my desk has progressively become less cable managed every time I've had to move equipment back to the living room where the set was.
You know, when we started this, I was not expecting to have so many cables everywhere. Dude, my table is a mess.
Yeah.
I did not realize how much cables you actually need if you want something to
Work.
be more high production value.
Yeah, because when we lived together, you were like, man, you have like a waterfall of cables coming off the back of your desk because the back of my desk faced the kitchen.
Yeah.
Now you understand why.
Yeah, see, so back then, when we had the idea of starting Big Chumps, our set was Lorenzo's desk, his office was in the dining room area.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even have enough space to do that. And then we said, hey, you know what? Let's try to record in the living room where the couch originally was.
Mm-hmm. Which was 5 feet away from my computer. Very, very helpful.
Right. And then we got there and we're like, man, the framing is really bad because there is an open box, like a little bar area that shows into the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, we can't properly light that, so that's going to look pretty bad.
And then my green screen was too short, not wide enough to accommodate the back of the couch.
Yeah.
Which is what you saw in episode 1 and 2 of Chump Change.
Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, where would we like to go?
Expand.
Not there.
We want to expand a lot. It's kind of why I was like a part of our a little peek into our personal lives. It's why I was considering moving back in together just so we could get a house, because a garage could become a full set.
Yeah, so yeah, something along those lines. Yeah,
but it just sucks because like
have a proper living room space to do it at. Yeah, that'd be cool too. You know.
Well, so for legal reasons, and I'm not going to specify which legal reasons, the room would need to be dedicated to that, and it cannot be a common room.
Yeah. See, and another thing that that we ran into too is it's hard to record in an apartment. You know, we record a lot of it.
Noise or
it's nighttime and we can't be that loud.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, you know, to get a space that's accommodating,
it would have to be a house. It would exclusively have to be us renting a house, which is fine, but also just Pree and I both don't like. I just re-signed my lease for another year, so even if Pree and I did agree to move in together and like I contained Lucy into her own living space, or you know she lived with Moon in our bedroom, or Dog was exclusively in bedroom or backyard, we'd still have to find a way to accommodate the financial and the current like lifestyle schedules.
Yeah.
Because where Pree wants to be is extremely far away from where my job that pays me well is. Extremely far away. I'd have to change jobs again. Which
that's the struggle, yeah. So the hope is the company makes some money.
Yeah, so
we could justify.
Yeah. Like company might buy the house that we live in.
Like, oh, okay, thanks,
and
guys,
we pay rent to the company,
man. Or you know, when we're just renting, like, hey, the money that we're making here just pays the rent, like hot dog, you know.
Yeah, and then you know we don't have to worry that much about the nitty gritty.
Yeah. But yeah, where do we want to go with the company?
Want to expand? We actually do have a physical set in mind for when we go back to a physical set. Besides maybe the here and there, like he might come back over and I'll set up the living room set again. Can I talk about it, or do you want to keep it a secret?
Sure.
So I'm not going to show any pictures just because we haven't finalized what it's going to look like. But we were talking about having a bar situation with like, if you ever seen those Corona mirrors, that would be the main part of the back. And then it'd be shelves with the Big Chumps the pint glass on both sides. And then we'd have a couple, what's it called again? Taps. And then if a sponsor ever wanted to sponsor us, sponsors, we could get a custom tap handle for the sponsor. Obviously the people who are most inclined to sponsor that kind of production would be beer brands, which I'm open to. However, I think in general it'd cost us nothing to have someone carve us like a HelloFresh beer tap.
Yeah.
And then, you know, just that's the sponsor. If you're an active sponsor, you can be a part of the set somehow. And that would be the most seamless way to transition into that.
Yeah, see, what I was thinking is they have, you know, have you seen Sunhari soju cutouts?
No, I haven't.
So I was thinking like there would be some sort of cutout or like sticker on the wall, because I know a lot of restaurants do have like Tsingtao,
yeah,
and other like brands like that on the walls. So I was thinking for the set, if we just have like I wouldn't say like a whiteboard,
yeah,
but something pretty like not permanent, just so we can like swap it, you know.
So an alternative,
different advertisers.
An alternative for my mirror idea was, and I wanted to pitch this to you, like getting a Big Chumps neon sign that's not like super bright, like it can be adjusted.
That would be cool too. I want one of those.
And then underneath that, there's a spot to do like Polaroid pictures, but instead of a Polaroid picture, it's like a picture, like a square Polaroid sized post-it of like a logo. Alternatively, we could do one of the little, I know there's a name for it, like the little triangle things for happy hour menus.
Yeah.
And then we put sponsors on that and leave it on the table for the set.
Oh, on the bar, yeah.
So there's a lot of options that we could do, but the one thing that Pree and I did decide, especially after we got the samples of our pint glasses, we want to do that bar set, because that'd be a very nice looking casual setting for us to do Chump Change at. The only thing we'd have to work out the kinks on is where we're gonna put microphones, because I did not design that as a part of the set.
See, what I think about is who's behind the bar and who's sitting at the bar.
So anyone who is talking on the show could be at the bar, and then crew and other people could be behind the camera, because the bottom of the frame should be the end of the bar.
Yeah.
So we could either do a long like island style bar, or it could be a circular bar table, and then we just have people sitting at that.
Yeah, you know, very much cameras on the end of the bar.
Not like long ways. Like it's not like I'm not thinking like this. I'm thinking like this.
Yeah.
Like bar horizontal, bar table horizontal, and then people are sitting around that. But yeah, that's
very cool ideas for the company.
That's something that we really want to expand for, just because obviously, if you've been following us, the main thing we are doing is the podcast. If we ever stop doing video content because our lives get crazy, the one thing that will stay forever is now the podcast.
See, the podcast, you just talk.
Yeah, it's easy. We do that anyways. That was the whole point of starting the podcast with Big Chumps.
And there's just an excuse for me to teach Lorenzo some fun facts.
Yeah, he gets to break little knowledge bombs, and I can't argue because it's on camera.
Haha.
But yeah, expansion, definitely good. Having new friends and help to, you know, assist with production value, very good creature comfort. And then I just want to travel. The whole shtick that Pree was throwing when he agreed to doing Big Chumps, we were originally going to be a travel food thing.
We were gonna look, get it, Big Chumps.
Yeah,
get it.
We were gonna travel the continental United States and then go international after we like did a couple episodes in major cities, or in at least one city of us trying something specific to that region.
Yeah.
And then we were joking that we could double back after we do our lap, and we could do like, we went to a McDonald's in at least one McDonald's in every state.
Think about that, huh?
So that's something that we still want to do. Like, we were even talking, I think it was last episode, right? We were talking about like traveling international, going to, you said Germany and some other places.
Going on vacation, yeah. Except not really vacation, but vacation.
Yeah, because our lives are content forever now.
That's our true vacation.
But yeah, it's cool, right? Because we can still turn off the camera and do fun things, even if it's like Like if I have a camera rolling half the time while we're at Disneyland, that doesn't mean I need to be conscious of the camera, because the whole point is to enjoy the Disneyland experience.
Yeah.
So maybe whoever we bring to hold the camera won't have a great time, but
Poor guy.
you know, they're over there getting paid to be at Disneyland, so I don't know what they're complaining about. Think about that.
Yeah.
Think about that. If we take a cameraman to Disneyland, we have to pay for their admission, their hotel, and pay them to film.
Dude. They bunking with you.
Man, I don't know if they want to bunk with me. You think I don't want to shag while I'm at Disneyland?
Well, you think they want to bunk with me? Dude, I snore like a...
You know what? You're right. You and me will bunk together. Our girlfriends can bunk together. Cameraman can sleep in the car. Hotel Corolla.
Hey, man, you know, cameraman can sleep on the couch.
Oh, they get to be the chump change, mobile chump change person.
Yep, exactly.
Did we talk about that on that episode? I slept on a couch for YCS. I could have rented us a room with 2 king size beds. I chose to get a couch so you guys could see us on a couch.
That was great.
And I never pulled the couch out once.
He asked for the bed sheets and the blanket.
I was so dude, you can't even fault me for that. We were dead those 2 days that we were actually there.
Yeah, well, for me, I'm like, dude, you got to move the table. We got to figure out where we're gonna put the table.
Hell no, because what was I doing? What was I doing up until the point that I passed out? And what did I do as soon as I woke up?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, you didn't pull out the bed because it was like, you know,
like
wasn't feasible.
I fell asleep editing, and then I woke up and started editing at 6 a.m. while we were in LA. That was my life for 3 days. Pretty good life. I'm having fun.
The company.
Yeah,
I love it.
I think the prospect that we get to go do things that we would probably... It's almost like your marketplace idea, right? You wouldn't normally pay full price for something for you personally, but you and I will absolutely pay full price to go do this thing that we want to do anyways, and then make content out of it.
Yeah, that's a fair trade-off, I think.
Yeah. I think
efficiency, thoroughness, trade-off principle.
Yeah, you know, there might be a point, just like with YCS, where we're dying because we're conscious of playing in a tournament and recording and all shit. We have to drive 8 hours to go back home.
Dude,
we should have flown.
And we had to be back at a certain time.
Yeah, I think if we also didn't have a time crunched for being back, that would have been a lot easier on us too.
Very, very interesting trip. I can't wait to take more of those.
I can't wait till the end of the year, just because I think that the possibilities are a lot more lenient in our favor once you're out of school.
Yeah. Then we have a little more fun.
Yeah. We can have fun and give ourselves some room to, like, all right, let's rent another night and let's go do this tomorrow.
Great things to come.
Yeah, we definitely have some stuff planned. We had something planned for my birthday at the end of the month, but it had to get canceled, unfortunately. Which I'm a little sad about. I'm not going to lie. I'm bummed out about that.
That's okay. There's always another birthday.
It's okay. It's okay. We're probably going to do something. I want to stream on my birthday. Not going to lie. But we'll see how that pans out. Because if you bring over your girlfriend and my girlfriend's there during my birthday stream, then we can't stream.
No, that means we're gonna stream.
No, because
if
I want to do like IRL Smash Bros or Mario Party or Mario Kart, they can't be on camera. They can't show. They're gonna
wear ski masks.
Ski masks and sunglasses.
Hot diggity dog, and face mask too. You can't forget the face mask.
Oh yeah, got to be safe.
COVID conscious.
Mm. Except us, who are gonna get actively trashed on the couch.
See, they're there to click the end stream button if it gets too rowdy.
Hell no. Hell, I already told you. It was either last episode or 2 episodes ago. If anything happens to me, if I get swatted, it has to be on camera.
Poor guy.
Everything good and everything bad in my life needs to happen on camera.
It's like poor guy's gonna leak so much stuff. He's gonna say the wrong thing. I'll be like, whoa. Click the button.
Dude, I've been doing this. Do you remember Shabcarb? I don't know if... Yeah, you met him.
I ain't allowed, Chief. I don't know who that is.
That's someone we went to high school with. I think you met him. I want to say you have, but there's
I
so
want to say I
many.
met him. I don't know him.
There's so many people who went by an alias, and also that was an early internet thing. You referred to people as their alias, not their real names. Um, there's so many people who, in my mind, they are that name forever. Like it took a lot for me to not call Moon by her actual name, just because I don't want to leak her identity.
Yeah.
Which, if you checked my social media 6 months ago, you would have known who she is. But also, uh, but it took a lot for me to mentally say Moon without hesitation every time now.
Yeah. See, I just can't wait for people to call me. LLLLI.
Yeah, people can actually discern which one's an L, which one's an I. That's why I just called you Big Barcode. Your Instagram name was gonna be Big Barcode,
Look at that, huh?
just because I didn't know what to make your L's and I's. I was gonna make you your own extra Instagram for Big Chumps.
Crazy, dude. Crazy.
But yeah, we want to expand and we want to go do all the fun stuff that we already wanted to do, but we want to do it for content now. Like Big Chumps Go to Japan is probably going to be within the next 5 years. That will be fun. Big Chumps Go to
Big
Hawaii.
chumps. Big chumps go to Hawaii.
Big Chumps go.
Big chumps go to Alaska.
I was gonna say Big Chumps go ice fishing in Alaska.
Big chumps spend a month on a fishing boat.
Hell no. I get seasick.
That would be cool.
I get seasick. That's not gonna happen.
That's okay. I get motion sickness on the plane.
Really?
Hey, you know when I had to help you move, dude, I was dying on the airplane.
You were on the plane for 2 hours.
I know I was dying. I
For
didn't say
2
anything
hours?
else.
You didn't
Yeah,
take
I
airborne?
was just sitting there just crying.
You didn't take
I didn't even know how to get airborne. I didn't even know airborne was meant for you in the air.
Yeah,
Airborne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to respond to that with, but yeah, just yeah. But yeah, I definitely think expanding something that's big on both of our minds, because there's a lot more possibilities, and there's a lot more we can let our friends in to do in terms of content if we're able to expand.
Yeah, yeah. I do think we have some really interesting character friends, and I would like to bring some more onto camera if they're willing to hop in and join.
And play
You know,
nice.
and play nice, yes, and not be uberly weird.
Yeah, that's something that I don't know if we've talked about that on camera. That's a topic for next week, though. I'll write that down. The stigma of being on camera versus being a normie.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's huge. Yeah, yeah. I really like that one. That's a good topic. I'm gonna think of something to put in there for my trivia
stage fright
segment. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
But we definitely want to introduce our friends into stuff. There's a lot of growth potential for things that we want to do. There's like, I think we talked about our D&D project, right? The planning for that.
Yeah, yeah. I think so. I think we talked about what we want to do for that. It sucks that we got to find people to do it though.
Yeah, lest we like just do a beta test for like a 2-person D&D, and then I DM for us, just so we can get the swing of it.
Man,
but definitely
sucks being lonely, Big Chump.
No friends. Ooh.
No friend.
But yeah, a lot of potential, a lot of things we want to do as we grow over the course. Did we elaborate on the investor or letting people into the company part?
We like to be in control.
Yes.
I think is what you said, and we don't want to be not sellouts, but I don't want to be the bean counter, and we're gonna dictate everything based on what the bean say. You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sucks because we are a business now,
yeah.
And as much as it would help to have an angel investor or just someone invest in our company, there are definitely some trade-offs. I mean, part of it's that because that's what a sponsor also is essentially, right? It's like, oh, here's this business or this product I want you to advertise.
You know, this product. You know, I'm like, hey, if the other guy's gonna, tell me I can't do this or that, hey.
Yeah.
As
But
long as he's not judging my whole content, you know.
that's the part that sucks. It's like easily would be able to be like, yeah, Mr. Business Guy, we're willing to work with you and have you dump some money into us so we can start up. Because it's not just the content creation side that our business is. It's also this merch store that we're doing with all these different goofy designs.
Yeah.
And it'd be very easy for us to get off the ground now. Like, even if we had the smallest little shop in an alleyway, we could easily find a way to cram the Chump Change set and production stuff into that same set.
Yeah, we're gonna be those guys at the mall.
Space.
Yeah, those guys at the mall where you give them a design and they print it out on a shirt. Have you ever been to one of
Yeah.
those? Have you ever bought one of those?
So my infamous burgundy jacket with my my sigil is actually from one of those.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, on my 18th birthday, I was at the mall on my own. I ended up taking an Uber out to the mall north of our hometown.
Yeah.
That next town, the very first next town. I was at that mall, and I forget who I was waiting for. I think I was waiting for my mother or my father, but I had a couple bucks to my name, and I said, you know what? I've been wanting to get a tattoo of this. I'm not ready for a tattoo, so let me get that imprinted on my favorite jacket.
There you go.
And my infamous burgundy jacket with or burgundy hoodie with my little logo, my first logo is on that. That's where that came from.
That's gonna be us when you see us on camera on the podcast.
Mm.
We're gonna have some special
swag.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy because that a lot of the Big Chumps project was adapted from another project for a VTuber group I was gonna do.
Yeah.
And that was actually one of the things we talked about, having a listing on the website for, hey, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. And then we'd adapt what they said that they wanted into a logo and print it for them. Just because legally that means that we can make anything. Like, we could actually make the Mr. Wahoo Man as a design and sell it to them, because we're not only selling that, we're just taking a custom request and we're selling that. Unfortunately,
cool.
we dictated that it'd be hard to do just because, like Big Chumps, I was the only artist that was actively available. So
Yeah.
it'd be hard to juggle that one as a part of the service. It's something I'd still be interested in, but it's very much we'd have to see what people request, or we'd have to give guidelines on what can be requested.
People in the podcast get some process of the sausage making here.
I think the final thing I wanted to ask about where we are, where we want to go, is how do you feel about doing crowdfunding or Patreon?
You know, I ain't gonna lie with you, Chief. For a Patreon, I don't know what I can give you on a Patreon.
Well,
I don't know what special behind the scenes I would give you. And that's where I'm like, you know, if all that guy does is tunes into the stream when we stream and donates to us that way so we can actually get a good interaction, I think that would be more worth it. I don't really like gatekeeping things like that, especially behind a paywall.
So there's a couple things that you can do with Patreon, because I did have a GarboArtist Patreon for a little bit, just because I was setting up everything. One of the things you can do is you can make it so there's a tier where after they're subscribed for every so often or every certain amount of months, they got a free thing, right? So if we have a stock of mug designs, we send them a mug on month 2 for being subscribed for a certain amount.
Yeah.
And then on month 5, we send them a shirt. And then on month 9, we send them a poster or like 2 shirts. You know, something that makes it worth it for them, because they don't have to buy the merch outright, but they're getting something for contributing.
Yeah.
And then everyone I know that has a Patreon, they make like special Discord roles just for that, like, oh, I'm a Patreon supporter and such, which we haven't talked about expanding our Discord to be public, but if we did choose to do the Patreon route, that's something we could do.
Yeah, maybe we get to see some of that. Yeah,
But definitely something that actually someone else that I was talking to about Big Chumps, they were like, well, why don't you do like GoFundMe or crowdfunding or something? And my take on that was like, it's hard just because we don't offer a service that we couldn't already provide. We would just need to buy the shirts for it to like print stuff.
yeah. So okay, I just want to interject here. I don't want us to be panhandlers. All right, like that's why I like the idea of Patreon. It's you're giving your money, and I'm giving you something in return.
Uh-huh.
That's very much, if we're doing anything like that, that's what I want.
Well, you can set up so that you give the crowd like what is it, GoFundMe or something? Like
Yeah,
people can get stuff for supporting you. It's not
yeah,
like you
that's
just take money and walk away.
yeah,
It just, like I said, it sucks because it's there's nothing that we could crowdsource that is so outrageous that they couldn't already get it from the store. Like the store could go live right now. All I have to do is press one button.
yeah,
Like we don't need the crowdfunding for that. The crowdfunding just helps us do it in house, so we don't have to rely on our third party distributor for it. But it's like it was an interesting point to be given by someone, because it's like, yeah, technically, if people were willing to support us, they could do that. But also, you could do that by donating to either of the Twitch channels, or reaching out and saying, "Hey, I'd like to, donate to Big Chumps. Do you have like a PayPal or something that I could send money to?" So it was a weird thing, because like, yeah, we could do that, but we would have to create extra to make it worth it for people.
yeah.
So
That's my thing.
So that's why I was like, I want your take on it, because I'm pretty sure it's the same take, which it is. But it's always interesting to bring stuff up to other people, because like maybe someone will surprise you and come up with a different angle.
Yeah.
But yeah, grow bigger, faster, better, stronger. So it looks like you made it to the end of another Chump Change. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, be sure to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Hit that bell notification button if you want to see every time that we have something go up on the channel. Or if we go live, we might stream on YouTube. You never know. If you are watching or / listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, be sure to leave us 5 stars and leave us a comment. Tell us what you like about the podcast and what you want to see. You can also follow us on social medias, which are listed on bigchumps.com. We have a Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you
in the next one. See ya.